Good day, Wisconsin! This is Sarah Lou for the Wisconsin Progressive Alliance with your weekly resistance report. Let's get things started by addressing the elephant in the room. The biggest story of the past week being, of course, the House of Representatives voting to repeal the Affordable Care Act, or Obamacare, and replacing it with the American Health Care Act, or AHCA. A jubilant celebration broke out as the House GOP voted to kick millions of people off of health care, killing funding to Medicare expansion and Planned Parenthood, and adding huge tax breaks to the wealthiest Americans. The Republican plan isn't so much a health care plan as it is a tax break disguised as one. The provision of pre-existing conditions even includes such things as children with asthma, people with cancer, mothers who had C-sections, veterans with PTSD, domestic abuse survivors, pregnancy, postpartum depression, and sexual assault survivors, along with a lengthy list. Think about that, defunding Planned Parenthood while declaring pregnancy and sexual assault pre-existing conditions. Trump touted this as a great plan, but then had this to say just a few hours after the passage of the AHCA, or as some have been calling it, Trump No Care.
Premiums are going to come down very substantially. The deductibles are going to come down. It's going to be fantastic health care. Right now, Obamacare is failing. We have a failing health care. I shouldn't say this to our great gentleman and my friend from Australia, because you have better health care than we do.
Please note here, Australia has a single-payer universal health care system. However, news coming out of Washington states the AHCA bill has no chance of getting through the Senate, with members even declaring that the bill coming out of the House will be completely scrapped to make way for a different plan.
Well, Mr. President, you're right. In Australia and every other major country on earth, they guarantee health care to all people. They don't throw 24 million people off of health insurance. So maybe when we get to the Senate, we should start off with looking at the Australian healthcare system or the Canadian healthcare system, which guarantees healthcare to all people at a much lower cost per capita than we do.
While this was happening, there is some lesser-known news from the past week. Tensions with North Korea continue to escalate. The latest out of Pyongyang is that the North Koreans are accusing the CIA and South Korean intelligence of an attempted assassination of its leader, Kim Jong-un.
Explosive new allegations from North Korea, the rogue nation accusing the U.S. and South Korea of attempting to assassinate Kim Jong-un with a biochemical substance. State media claims the CIA and South Korean intelligence was working with a terrorist to carry out the attack during a public ceremony. The allegations coming as the House approves brand new economic sanctions against North Korea to cut off the regime's cash flow.
The state-run news agency in North Korea is notorious for spreading anti-Western propaganda. But officials state this type of accusation is unusual for the regime, given its nature and amount of detail. North Korea currently holds multiple Americans hostage in charges of espionage. In state news, the GOP has proposed a change to gas and income tax. The plan would trim income taxes next year, and they would continue to decrease for a decade, eventually cutting liabilities for taxpayers and revenue for the state by more than $2 billion. The income tax changes include reducing the number of tax brackets from 4 to 1, eliminating the married couple tax credit, the renter's tax credit, and a property tax credit aimed at helping working and middle-class homeowners. According to Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, the plan was a starting point for negotiations with Scott Walker and the Republican-run Senate. In other news, a student dressed as a stormtrooper for Star Wars Day prompted the evacuation of a high school in Ashwaubenon. A parent saw the student dressed in body armor and a mask, carrying a backpack, which prompted them to call 911. School officials stated they will re-emphasize their no costume policy in the future. Some upcoming events this week. Fawn Fox Valley is hosting a family-friendly resistance fundraiser on May 13th at the American Legion in Appleton from 2 to 5 p.m. Christopher Gold will be playing, and there will be a silent auction, games, and other fun activities. Hopefully you can make it. There are budget action events happening this week on Tuesday, May 9th and Thursday, May 11th. Contact Carol Lenz at clenz@aol.com or Ann Minster at themunsters@sbcglobal.net for more information. Please save the date for June 3rd when the WPA will be hosting the National March for Truth in Madison. More details to follow as specific plans are still in the works, but do mark your calendars. Let's make this event huge. Until next week, this is Sarah Lou with your weekly breakdown. Everyone stay safe, resist, and keep moving forward.
If the wall it goes up and the country comes down and it's too tall to get in.